talk is how on earth do you even price and value NFTs? Something which we talk about with tokens to projects, the underlying utility. Now let's go beyond the utility of an NFT, and how exactly is that priced? Well, up next we have Eduardo, who's going to be showing us exactly how. So bring both your hands together and give him a warm welcome.
Good morning. Can everyone hear me? All right. So this morning we're talking about pricing NFTs. So as I said, my name is Edouard. I've been in the NFT space since late 2017. I started with, co-founded a platform called Cryptograph, which was the original celebrity and luxury NFT platform. So we brought people like Whittle all the way to like Paris Hilton to come to the platform, create NFTs and sold them to benefit charitable organizations. Over the last year and a half, we've been working building a myNFT, which is a marketplace. We're just coming in beta right now. We actually have this cool vending machine outside to buy NFTs with your card. If you want to try it out, it's just outside of the venue. And I also co-invented the GBM auction mechanism, which we created when we built the platform Cryptograph, which I'll talk about it a bit later in this presentation. So the reason we're here is because we're in a transition from the internet of today, which is the internet of information. Like Google is an information company, Facebook, all these companies are about information. And in the internet of information, what matters is likes, shares, retweets, friends, followers. And the internet of tomorrow is quite different and is powered by crypto and NFTs. And it's an internet of value and ownership. And in the internet of value and ownership, what matters a lot is provenance, is utility, and price. How much is this worth is a very important question in the internet of value. So, 3 things to consider for pricing NFTs. So pricing, of course, is getting a value for an object, so it transacts between the buyer and seller, and you have primary sales and secondary sales. And if you want a good mechanic to get to that price, you need to have the right game theory to make sure you have the proper price. And what's interesting with pricing NFTs is that almost any asset and right can be represented as an NFT. So anything that we can solve in terms of pricing NFTs can apply to a lot of assets. Then you have blockchain, which is the amazing part because you have a fast global computing platform that also has a payment system and an escrow system attached to it. So you can build really interesting pricing mechanism globally. And the drawback, of course, is that people have to pay gas to submit things to the blockchain, and that the implementation is a bit more complex. And the last part, NFTs. When pricing NFTs, we're pricing scarcity. And the other thing that's really important is community, because it's about price, but it's also what is the experience of people when they're taking part in that price discovery? What is this experience? Is it fair? Is the community happy with interacting and how the pricing is done? So, how do we do this? What if we just do fixed price? Very easy, right? This is the price, come and buy it or not. Well, if you do this, only 2 options. First one is you undervalue your item. So everyone wants to buy it, even people that just want to buy it to resell it. And so you have bots, you have gas wars, and you lose on revenue because the people that buy it and resell it make the margin, not your project or yourself if you're just selling one NFT. And you have an angry community. Second option, you overvalue it, your price is higher than the market value, and so no one buys it, no revenue, and you also have an angry community. So, and people have been trying to solve this problem, and they do things like lottery or allow list to get into fixed price, but actually these don't solve the underlying issue, which is you don't have the right price. Like a bot can get into many allow lists. You're not really solving the actual problem here anyway. So, there are social mechanisms built to create price discovery called auctions. So the 2 main ones that we know are English auction and Dutch auction. So in an English auction, the prices go up, and the one that has the highest price when the auction ends wins. And Dutch auction, it starts from a high price, and it goes down, and the first person that says, I'm buying it, get it at that price. In an English auction, pretty easy to implement on-chain, although every bidder needs to pay for gas. You have the problem that only one person wins and everybody else goes home with nothing, or having paid gas and getting nothing. And you have no incentive to participate because of this. Like, if you know you're not going to win, why would you take part in an English auction? Dutch auction, which has been quite popular on the blockchain, is also very easy to implement, even easier than the English auction because there's only one bid per auction. Only one person wins again, everybody else loses. One big drawback is that unless you have some very complex mechanics for user experience and in the back end, you can be front run. So when you place your bid to buy it, a bot can see that and buy it just before you because they just put more gas on the transaction. So that's a classical flaw of the Dutch auction on blockchains. And also you need to figure out the starting price because it goes from a starting price, it goes down. And so you end up with a similar problem that you have with fixed price, which is how does it start? What do I start my auction at? Do I start it too high, too low? You have to be careful about that. And the two ways that it's been mostly implemented on chain have been pay as bid, so everyone pays their bid until there's only no one left because you have a bunch of NFTs being sold, or clearing price auction, which is everybody that bids during this Dutch auction until there's no NFT left, everyone pays the final bidder's price, so the lowest one. A few other notable systems that have been done on crypto and blockchain that I like that could be used. One is a sealed bid, so you have secret bids that you put on chain. But if you want to do that, you need hash and you need some extra salt, which is extra random bytes added to it to make sure the bids are secret. You have the candle English auction, which has been used by for the Polkadot parachain slots, which is like an English auction, except that at the end of the auction, it says, oh, actually the end was then. So you have a timestamp that just appears that was hidden that says, this is when the auction ended, and say whoever was the highest bidder at that point in time that wins, which I find pretty cool. And then you have reserve price auctions, so that's where you say, I'm willing to sell it for at least this much. And then when someone places a bid or say I'm willing to buy it, it starts an auction. So it's using, for example, on marketplaces like Foundation. The issue with this is that when you place a minimum first bid in an auction, you prevent some people coming into the auction. So the higher the minimum first bid is, the less people are going to come in, and the less people come in, the less good the final price discovery will be. So you have to be very careful with auctions where you put minimum first bid. So then I said I was going to talk about this. So when we built Cryptograph, we are like, how can we solve the problems of current auctions, which is most of them, you don't have an incentive to participate, and most people go home with nothing. What if we could create a system where everyone is having a great time, we have great price discovery, and everyone is happy? And so we invented GBM, which is a system that we call bid to earn, where people make money when they get outbid. So I want to buy an item, I put 10 pounds on the table, that's my bid, and then someone else comes and puts 20 pounds. When they do that, I get my 10 pounds back, plus 1 from the pot. I just made money in real time while the auction is still running. So every bidder like this makes money, and if, for example, the auction ends with the second bidder at 20, the final price is 20, but the seller gets 19. So with this system, the seller is willing to give away a percentage of the final bid to bidders that have lost, and in exchange, you transform the auction into this amazing experience where everyone wins. And so we've done more than 200 million in bidding volume with this system with partners that we've partnered with that have been using this for their drops, and more than $5 million has been won by losing bidders since 2021 in these auctions. And they are very, very happy about it. And so, yeah, this system makes it that when you do your drop, everyone wants to be part of it. People get ready for the drop. They get their money ready, their wallet, because the moment the auction starts, they want to be there, they want to take part, and they know that whatever happens, they're going to win something. Either they're going to get money from the system because they've helped in the price discovery, they've helped in that pricing, or they're getting the asset. In conclusion, you have to choose your price discovery mechanism very wisely. Like this can break or make what you do as a project, right? This is the internet of value. So how is this value transferred? How is this value determined in your process, in your project, in your community is very important. So choose this wisely. Getting enough buyers is the most important element in getting good price discovery. So make sure you have a system that does that. And that's of course why we invented the GBM auction, is to have a system that really brings people together and people want to take part and then they come back again because they've won something in any case. So yeah, check out GBM. And finally, if you're not a project, but you have NFTs that you want to sell and you'd love to sell them using GBM, that's why we created the myNFT marketplace. It's an NFT, it's a multi-chain NFT marketplace that has the GBM auction system integrated into it. So yeah, either come to us if you want to integrate GBM for your drop or your platform, or come to myNFT.com. Thank you very much.